At home, let's be really careful. I'm trying to remove some shocks here, and I've taken off the screws on top and bottom, and when I knock that out, it's going to expand, and meantime this is going to violently snap upward because this spring is the only thing that's holding it away from the car. So I'm going to need something like a piece of wood or a stick or something I can use, like a piece of metal, to try and knock it away. I'll try this. Okay. Oh, that wasn't that violent at all, was it? Okay. This is the sign that this shock really sucks, because I'm compressing it and nothing's happening. So that's why I keep on ruining tires, because the tire is so close to the car that it keeps grinding itself. As you can see. You can see on my tire. Now just look at the new one. The new one, I can barely even press it down, and as soon as I let go, it pops back up. And it's a lot harder because this one has to be forced into the car, and probably the space is not as much as it was before. So let me take some effort and see if I can stick that in there. Let's see. Take all this junk off. We have this collar. This has to go back on. And this slimy shit has to come out. This is why my hands look like the way they do. Shit out. Let's see. I knock this shit out. See? That's why I can't be a pretty boy. Okay, so I remove this piece. Now this has to go back inside the vehicle. Let's see. Oh, it doesn't stay there. It just sits there on top of the spring. All right. So the spring goes down first. And that goes on top. And then this entire thing has to be pushed into the vehicle. Let's see if I can do that. So now the shock and the spring has been reinstalled. So now what's left to be done is reinstall the nut and bolt, top and bottom, and good to go for another couple 100,000 miles. Top bolt has to protrude through this tower, which is behind the rear seat, but it's not sticking out enough because the car is off the ground, so I have to put the wheel back on the car and drop it down so that the weight of the car pushes the bolt through so it could be tightened. Before I do that though, I'm going to carefully straighten the fender so that the sharp edges doesn't stick out into the tire anymore. So I'm going to use a very precision instrument to do this. Okay, so it should no longer cut. So the wheel is back on. We're ready to drop the car back down. So we're going to raise the car up and knock the stand out so we can hopefully insert the top of the strut back into the tower. Let's see. Maybe by raising the car, maybe it already came through. Oh look, it already came through, but we gotta drop the car anyway because leaving it up on this jack is going to ruin the jack. So let's slowly drop it down. Sort of slowly. And now we can tighten up the lock nut. So put the 2 washers in place. I think that's how it came. And tighten it by hand as much as you can. Yeah, shit in the road is dirty. Now, you can tighten it with a wrench, but what often happens, let's see if this works. Exactly what I was afraid of is happening. The inner spindle is spinning with the nut, so you have to do it the hard, annoying way. You have to hold the inner spindle with a second wrench and use a second wrench to tighten it. Okay, so I put that on backwards. This needs to go on first. Okay, as you can see, both are spinning the same time, so I have to hold this with a second wrench. And well, I can't film this because I can't hold 2 hands. Okay, so I'm using the other side as a guide. Of course, I did the other side, so if I did it wrong, they're both wrong. And I guess it's done. So next we drop the car down, replace the seat. Of course, I'm about to go to YouTube because I need to learn how to reupholster my seats.